Okay, so in a world that has taught you how to ignore your instincts, override your emotions, and shrink your desires, to become aware of what is happening in your body in the moment is a rebellious act. This isn't just about self-care right now. This is about shifting the whole narrative of what connection and deep satisfaction means to you, okay? Because when you're in your body, you cannot be controlled by as many belief systems and structures that are trying to tell you to stay out of your body, to stay out of this intuitive knowing of a true yes and a true no for you. You become rooted, you become clear, and you become free, right? You're liberated when you know what your truth is and what your instincts are telling you. And that is dangerous to a system that really thrives on you staying disconnected, okay, from your internal knowing, your internal technology. It's a different way to look at embodiment and why being in the present moment and being in your sensuality is vital to start shifting your overall wellness, right? So this is one of the reasons I created the pleasure codes. And that course is specifically for female-bodied humans who want to start changing the narrative and your belief system about what it means to be in your body. That if you're experiencing pain or shame or body image issues or low libido, all of these things, even around your sensuality, your intimacy, you want to check out the pleasure codes, because that course literally will rewire your brain to get more pleasure and be in your body more. But okay, besides that, I want to get back to why embodiment right now is so radical. Because from this early age, you were taught to ignore the wisdom of your body. To sit still, to be nice, to be productive. Don't be too loud. Don't be too sensitive. Definitely do not be sensual. Definitely don't be emotional, right? You were taught that anything that naturally came out of your body was bad or wrong or needed to be contained. Do not trust it was the message, right? And that is dangerous, because when we disembody, when we don't trust our bodies anymore, we stop trusting our deepest knowing. And we slowly, over time, become soul achy. There's an ache that we don't fully understand because of this disconnection. And we start living in our heads more. We start trying to rationalize everything. We start trying to be really logistical and okay, how do we fix it in our head? And we continue to chase validation outside sources, and we abandon ourselves and our truth. And what actually needs to happen is we got to turn inward, right? We got to turn down into our body. So we're not just floating heads anymore, but we got to connect right here between mind, head, and body. There's always a place for the mind. So I'm not here to bash mindfulness or the working with the mind and our instincts and our mind is incredible and we need it and it's innovative and all of these things, right? But when we are so disconnected from our body, it creates a pain and it creates anxiety and it creates depression. And so we get burned out, we feel numb, we start people pleasing because we have no idea where we stand in all of this. We don't trust ourselves enough. So even during our intimacy time, our pleasure time, right? Our bedroom time, we can shut down. Our bodies will literally shut down because we are so disconnected from them. We shut down in relationship because we don't know how to communicate about what we actually need and desire in our body. This creates more tension, more disconnection, because the body is always speaking. It's just we've forgot how to listen, right? When we were little, we knew how to listen to our body. We were free in our body. We did whatever we needed. Whatever we desired, we reached for it, right? Whatever we needed, if we felt something, we would share that through tears or expression. We expressed through our body. And then over time, we were taught how to contain it all. Containment is important, but now is the time to remember Like we're over contained right now. And we're so over contained that we've just completely disconnected from our bodies. And we're just in our heads. And so now is the time to come back into our body. And when you reconnect with your body through movement, through breath, through pleasure, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And this is your rest and restore system. This is your healing system. So when you can get into that system, when you get out of your head and you drop into your body, you actually start having this sense of healing and calm and rest and relaxation and happiness and joy and pleasure and all the things that you desperately are scrolling to find that aren't going to be found in your phone or in your mind. They're going to be found in the embodied experience, okay? So embodiment also increases your capacity to feel without being overwhelmed. So right now, if you're disconnecting or if you feel like I just get too overwhelmed anytime I have an emotion, this is a sign that you are not embodied, right? That you have not cultivated a relationship with your body to where you can handle is a good word, or also just hold, right? The emotions that you're experiencing. So when you can do that, you become more resilient, you feel more attuned, and you're a lot more powerful in your responses because you're created your own container. Right now, if you're feeling really disconnected or really overwhelmed, it's because you don't have a container that knows how to hold your emotion. I think of this often in like yin and yang or kind of feminine masculine energetics, right? If this is all energy, the masculine energy or the yang energy is meant to contain. We need a container for the fluidity of the feminine or the yin energy, right? What's happened is we've gotten way too much in the container side and we've forgotten how to be in the fluid, or we don't trust the fluidity. We feel like it will get out of control, right? If we're feeling out of control, then our container still is trying to like make sure we're in control because we've been taught that feeling or being embodied or being expressive is out of control, right? No, we can't do that. It's off limits, too big, too much, not in the social narrative, right? Not in the social cues of like what is okay. So when you embody your truth and you start understanding that you can hold your container and you can hold these emotions, it brings you more power and more confidence into who you are and how you can move through this world. And that when you feel something, it's okay to feel it. And you can hold that feeling safely because you've been taught that feelings aren't safe to feel. They're too much. They're too scary. They're too overwhelming. They're going to consume you. So you haven't cultivated the container to hold the feelings yet. And so what has been happening is you're disconnecting or you're trying to find that container outside of yourself, right? Through either like a phone or a coping mechanism like alcohol or drugs or anything. You're going outside of yourself. But when you start understanding that you can create that system inside, it brings in a lot more power to you. And then you have a lot more confidence in your human experience. Yeah, does this make sense? Because every time you choose to listen to your body, right? Every time you choose to listen, you're no longer available to the systems that have been telling you to not listen, to stay small, to numb, to suppress, or to silence yourself. Those are no longer available to you. And that is huge. Let me tell you, that is liberating. And it is hard to get to this point. I am saying, like, I have been in practice. This is also a practice. I still struggle with this. I teach this. I work this every day. And sometimes it is still hard to really be able to hold myself, right? And sometimes I do a great job. Sometimes I don't. And that's all part of the human experience as well, is learning that, yes, I can do this really awesomely at sometimes and really not at other times, but I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to try. I'm still going to trust myself. And you trust yourself through embodied practices, through pleasure practices. So I want you to check out more of those kinds of practices at moniquegomez.com. I have a ton of free information there. I have a ton of pleasure rituals and practices and all sorts of things to help you start getting in a consistent rhythm with listening to your body. And it takes just moments. It literally takes a pause. There's a power to the pause where you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, you feel yourself wanting to disconnect, and you take a moment. You find your breath. You remind yourself that you are an embodied human and that you can be here. You can handle this, that this is just a feeling, this is just an emotion, this is just a pattern of wanting to leave your body, but no, you are going to bring it back, because every time you bring it back, you learn how to trust yourself more, and that gives you more and more satisfaction and more practice of feeling that deep pleasure and that deep enjoyment of being in a body. Because that's another thing, is we don't remember what that's like to feel the enjoyment of being in our body, unless it's around our intimacy, right? Which is why this is also so important, because embodiment directly relates and impacts how you are in your intimate realm. That's another reason why it's so important. Okay, so if you're struggling in that realm as well with anxiety, low libido, painful penetration, anything of that nature, you want to check out the resources I have, and definitely check out the pleasure codes, because that, especially for my female-bodied people out there, the pleasure codes is just for you. We go deep into these areas of how do we expand ourselves and be in our body and let go of shame and let go of the nervousness and rewire our brain to where we can feel more pleasure in all aspects of our life. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Share this with friends that you think might need to hear this as well, right? If you go to my website, moniquegomez.com, sign up for my newsletter. I send it out every week, where you get more love, more reminders of pleasure, because this is a practice. You need to do it over and over again to rewire, to start a new pattern, okay? You've been wired to do something different for a really long time. So go slow, take your time, be present, find pleasure as much as you can, and make sure to do these little things every day. Find your breath, take that pause, and over time, you cultivate a new relationship with your body. No more anxiety, stress goes down. You get to approach life in a new way. And that is powerful, my friends. Let me tell you, I have struggled with this for a long time. This is why I speak about it, because I have been there. I have been hating myself, hating my body, hating life, and I have shown up in new ways every time. So I know that path. I don't know yours specifically, I know mine, but these are practices that have helped me. So now I want to help you. So again, check it out, moniquegomez.com. If you have any questions, let me know. Throw a comment below or wherever you want to reach out to me. I'm here, I'm available. Until next time, stay curious.